Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk to you about the Call of Duty 2020 leaks, and the gameplay you're going to get to see unfortunately isn't that. It's going to be Warzone because I don't like to get strikes. As many of you may have heard, CoD 2020 has already leaked, at least supposedly leaked, purportedly leaked, and this is kind of a weird one because we are way overdue for a Call of Duty announcement. Usually they announce it very early in the year and hype it up for like a very, very long time, but this year they've been very quiet. You know, right now we have a virus going around and we have mass protests and other things that are obviously slowing down and preventing any sort of media announcements because we have more pressing concerns. But the way this story goes is that a pro player, supposedly a person that I had not heard of before, respectfully, leaked footage that appears to be Black Ops 5 alpha gameplay. It seems like they were at a testing station or something, or a gameplay capture session, and they just did the straight up like iPhone on the TV capture, but it was still clear enough to watch and see. Now, Charlie Intel isn't hosting this gameplay. He posted on Twitter initially and promised more later, but got hit by a Digital Millennium Copyright Act strike from Activision, so it was removed, and none of the other stuff he promised to post later showed up. And in my opinion, the fact that Activision is striking this means that it's probably real, because they can't send a Digital Millennium Copyright Act strike on something that they don't own. Even if it's a parody or a fake, they'd have to do a cease and desist or something like that. And if you want to watch the footage that I'm going to talk about, you're going to have to Google it. You're going to have to find some like sketchy Russian or Chinese site that doesn't really care about DCMA strikes or DMCA strikes, because it's pretty much pulled down everywhere. It's actually somewhat difficult to find right now. And for the rest of this video, we're going to talk about what I did see and what I think about it, because for some reason my opinion matters. It looked to me kind of like Black Ops 1 Remastered, or the supposed Black Ops Cold War that we've been hearing rumors about. And if it's Black Ops 1 Remastered, then it's probably running on the Black Ops 4 engine, or even Infinity Ward's new engine for that matter. It was just something like a very modern looking engine. It was clearly running at 60 FPS. It was very smooth, and it seemed to be kind of only partially finished in development. The visible gun that the player used for the entire time appeared to be a Galil with several attachments on it that were not futuristic. It reminded me more of the Black Ops 1 Galil, which made me think Black Ops 1 Remastered. It had mostly like sights, mags, grips. It had like a little ring sight like the dot sights from Black Ops 1. As the player moved around, I didn't see any wall running, any swimming, any flying, or anything like that. I mean, he had basic crouching and sliding and just kind of the movement that you would expect from Call of Duty, but none of the advanced 3D movement. And most of the video was just this person walking around a map, showing off the map. I think they were just kind of walking around, look at this tank, look at this thing, here's a door, and just kind of showing that they could do a couple of actions in game. In my opinion, it looked real to me. It looked like something that somebody has in development, even if it's just like a fan community trying to like do their own Black Ops 1 Remastered or something, and they did this to hype it up. It looks like an alpha, like a very, very early alpha. That was more present on the map than on the player or the movement or anything else. The map that this person was playing on had tanks in it, and it appeared to be a tank factory or storage facility. Not driving the tanks, not shooting them, not, you know, tank warfare like Call of Duty World at War. God, that's such an old game now. But it just seemed like a like a storage facility of some kind, like a military base. And I think it was very clearly super early alpha, like super early in development. There were lots of gray walls. There was solid color stops and just random placeholder objects that were like blue and purple, and placeholder text, and just placeholder quite a few things. Not a lot of finished models. And for those of you that don't know, I do a little bit of side consulting for video games. I can't break NDAs or talk about it a lot, but it kind of looked to be on par or par for the course for pre-alpha, like a real pre-alpha, and not the fancy E3 or Gamescom presentations where it, you know, comes up and looks beautiful and plays great, but still says pre-alpha. We're talking about like an actual in-development game that's being changed every day, where they're just focusing on gameplay and they're not really like going hard on the art, and it's still full of bugs and stuff. So I think that it is a real pre-alpha. I think that this is really eventually what we're going to get. It's going to probably look very different when it's done. A lot of people criticize this game somewhat unfairly for how it looked now, because it looked rough. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It looked rough, but that's normal for real development if it was something actually in development. My suspicion is that this person was a playtester and I know that Activision hires groups of playtesters to just play with balance or guns or test abilities or just, play the build of the game, and they analyze and study. And these people do sign NDAs, but they're usually younger players, and if there's a leak for Call of Duty, playtesters are most likely the people to leak stuff. And based on all of this, to the best of my ability to tell, we are going to be getting either Black Ops 1 Remastered or Black Ops Cold War this fall. Personally, I'm down for either one. If some of you might remember, I actually made a video a few years back about my fantasy Call of Duty game, and one of those, I pitched quite like 3 or 4 of them. One of them was a Cold War game, and this seems like that could be it. A Cold War 1980s themed Call of Duty with synthwave music and Depeche Mode Personal Jesus playing. Got to add in some pink and purple lasers and stuff. That all sounds fun to me. I could play that for a little while. There's near infinite story potential campaign-wise for the Cold War, because there was secret operations, missions, technology, raids, stuff that didn't make it in the history books or you didn't hear about. We still have still currently classified Cold War technology that's probably something insane. I mean, even all of the parts about the Blackbird planes that we know aren't entirely declassified yet. There was so much military development and planning and testing and prototyping going on in the Cold War. We would probably be disgusted if we saw the things that our nations actually created. My only concern or criticism from such a limited sample of gameplay is, will base multiplayer satisfy me still? Will I still be okay just playing base multiplayer Call of Duty? The last 2 years in a row have definitely spoiled me, and they caused me to quit cold turkey on base multiplayer the moment in-depth is done, because we had Battle Royale, we had Blackout, and we had Warzone. I enjoy both of those modes. I quit playing Blackout over a protest and microtransactions. Warzone still got me coming because it's free to play, and I think it's quite good despite all the criticisms. And I'm kind of afraid that it's going to be like that again in the coming year, because what we saw was what appeared to be a 6v6 map, and it might just not be fun enough for me to run around 6v6 on the map and kind of do not a lot, just cap B flag, do this, kind of run the same old CoD I've been running since like 2008 over again, and I'll get bored in a couple of weeks and wait for Battle Royale. I don't know what the future of Battle Royale for Call of Duty might be, because Activision and Infinity Ward seems to want to support Warzone for quite a long time to come, and we already have Blackout, so this game might not be getting a BR. We have 2 BRs for Call of Duty, both of which still have significant player bases. We might not get a third one. Or what we could do, in my opinion, would be really awesome, is we get Blackout 2. Oh my god, a free-to-play Blackout 2 would be amazing. I think Blackout was a super good Battle Royale. I think Treyarch knocked it out of the park on that one, and the only reason that I didn't play it as much as I did was the microtransactions got really crummy. But if they go the Warzone business model with Blackout 2 free-to-play with like cosmetic microtransactions, that's going to be an absolute hit, and I'm going to love that. So I hope I get that in the coming year, or something big in scale. Alright guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.